I went ahead and put some PPF right here on the top side, so as I'm handling it, there's not going to be any damage there. This was the foamy double-sided tape that was used. It was removed. I had the cutout. I made the cutout for the center. And then this is how we're going to do this part. It's really okay to cut this a tick big because it's going to get trimmed back anyways. This a tick smaller. See if I can't dial this in the first time with just the template. Hey bud, as a heads up, I'm recording.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and spray it?
Yeah, go ahead if it's ready for it. How about it? There we go. Now, I'll still have to trim it back a bit. I'm not gonna... The trick here to not make it take an insane amount of time is you either need to have a perfect template to start, or you make it large and then you trim it back to this inside lip right here, which is what I'm gonna do. These just don't, there's not the necessity to pull these off enough that I can justify making a perfect template at this point. And so at this point, I'm gonna get it on my double-sided tape. The center hole had already been marked out. There we go, and it looks like, I'm just gonna leave that a bit long. Mark this long as well. There we go. And I have already applied, I used some adhesive remover. When this came off, this is the torn double-sided foamy tape that was taken off of this. Of course, this is paper that it was placed on. It came off pretty good. It's almost like a fabric material. It's not your typical double-sided tape. And in that way, it came off without leaving adhesive behind, but I still went after it with some adhesive remover, let that dry out, and then I went back on with some adhesive promoter. And in that way, when this goes on, it's going to stick very well. I'm going to touch this as little as I can with my hand. Oh, could have etched into this a little better. I don't want to cut all the way through. I just need it to get tearing. Let's go to the other side. Let's see if she'll play nice now. Looks like I'm just going to point blank have to cut even deeper. At $77 a square foot for this double-sided tape, you can understand why I want to limit waste on it. There we go. Now she's playing nice. Middle section out. And then she'll be good to be installed. Why is it so common that we say she when speaking of cars and parts and results and whatever? I say it all the time. I haven't really given it thought. Offhand, it's probably got something to do with we see whatever we're doing with a measure of affection and admiration. Maybe that's what it is. Of course, if it's slightly misaligned in the middle area, I could always, if there's an overlap, as there's a slight overlap here, I don't know if you can make that out or not. Same here, slight, well, this one will play nice, but I'm not going to let that one ride. I'm going to go and trim out that edge just a little bit. And it's still, even though it's not overlapping, it's still inside, it's still just over the edge that's going to be trimmed out, which give that a little, you can see where I'm going to trim it. Right here. Makes a little more sense why I put the PPF on the cap of this, on the very top of it now, doesn't it? It's a small thing, but still. We don't want to create any undue damage. I don't want to jump. You see here, you wouldn't want to go this way and jump over the edge because you could cause damage right there. It might just make more sense to come back into it from this side. This one's much easier to see. If you're doing something like this, I recommend you go on and cut through and then pull around instead of trying to lift, and it lifts at two spots because you can't keep your eyes on both edges if you need to make a slight adjustment with how you're pulling it back. There we go. And I'll test mock this up. It looks like I'll need to put one more section because we want that double-sided tape to create a really good waterproof seal. We can't take any risk, even though it's going to snap into place. We can't take any risk of the double-sided tape not doing a really good job creating that seal. And at this point, what I'll do is I'm going to put some more tape on it, and it's going to be the same process. It's that simple. Then it's going to go right back on the car. Thanks for watching.